In the forgotten folds of time, when the stars were still young and the sands carried the memories of gods and monsters, the world was made of stories. Some whispered through the leaves, others sang in the wind, and a few were too dangerous to speak aloud. Beneath domes of sapphire and minarets of bone, in cities carved from starlight and shadow, wandered those chosen by fate, not kings or warriors, but listeners, seekers, bearers of untold truths. These are the chronicles never written in books, etched instead into the veins of the earth, or sealed in the breath of a dying flame. Tales traded between spirits and dreamers, guarded by winds that speak only to the brave. Tonight we unravel one such tale, a tale born not from ink, but from fire and silence. So still your heart, open your mind, and step with us into a world where memory has teeth and the moon remembers your name. For in the east, where magic sleeps beneath the dust, every night is a gate, and every story a key. In the highlands beyond the saffron cliffs, where clouds drift like silent caravans and the wind speaks the names of the dead, lived a girl named Layla, daughter of no one, raised by the winds. She was not born in a home, but beneath the open sky, swaddled in storm-bent reeds and wrapped in silence. The villagers of Qasr al-Nur called her Al-Ri's orphan, the wind's orphan. She spent her days weaving cloth unlike any other, silks that shimmered with hidden starlight, veils that hummed when held against the breeze. But her most prized creations were wind scrolls, thin fabrics stitched with silver thread, capturing whispers carried by the mountain gales. No one knew how she learned to do it, not even Layla. But on the night the northern wind stopped blowing, silence fell so heavy that even the old bells of the cliff temple refused to ring. And with it, the whispers vanished. The winds that once brought her stories, riddles, warnings, had gone mute. That night, Layla dreamed of a voice older than rain. The winds have been stolen, it said. Find the one who sealed their song in the vault of stillness. You are not a weaver, you are a key. She awoke to find a strange feather at her door, blue-black, laced with patterns no bird had ever worn. The journey begins, guided by instinct more than reason. Layla climbed the cliffs until the clouds turned violet with altitude. There, where air was thin and thoughts grew strange, she discovered an archway of air, visible only in peripheral vision. When she walked forward, she passed through what felt like a curtain made of memory. Beyond it lay the realm the winds came from, not a place, but a weaving, threads of air, scent, sound and story tangled into a tapestry of currents. The world beneath her feet became the loom of winds, and she stood atop it like a misplaced thread. A cloaked figure emerged from the gale, face hidden beneath shifting veils. You walk without weight, the figure said. Who claims the silence as theirs to break? Layla answered, I was born from whisper, raised on echo, and I come seeking what was stolen. The figure revealed a spindle made of bone and pearl. Then take this, Windweaver. Spin the memory of the lost winds, if you still remember them. Layla held out her hand. The spindle hummed against her palm. The vault of stillness, guided by phantom gusts, she journeyed across impossible terrains, a field of floating seeds that glowed with the breath of extinct flowers, a forest of hollow trees whose trunks played songs only when no one listened, a valley where even her own heartbeat echoed with a delay, as if unsure of itself. Eventually, she reached a flat circle of stone, the vault of stillness. There was no door, only a reflection hovering in the air, a mirror made of perfectly still wind. To enter, she had to remember a wind so deeply it hurt. Layla closed her eyes and whispered the song of the south wind, the one that carried the scent of her adoptive mother's jasmine, the one that played with her hair as a child, the one that told her stories of firebirds and sky serpents. The mirror dissolved. Inside, the world was muffled. She moved through a cathedral of petrified gales. Winds turned to stone mid-flight. Screaming gusts frozen in place. Tornadoes locked in crystal columns. At the center sat a man carved from air, wrapped in iron threads, unmoving. "He is the wind thief," said a voice beside her. It was the veiled figure again. He wove silence from sorrow. Long ago, he gave the world calm by binding chaos. But calm became stagnation, and silence, death. Layla stepped forward. "I'm not here to judge," she said, "only to unbind." She placed the spindle at the man's feet and began to weave. She spun memory, pain, laughter, the breath of children, the sigh of widows, storm laughter and dust hymns. One by one, she unwove silence. The threads snapped. The wind thief opened his eyes, twin vortexes of color and emptiness. He did not speak, but the winds returned. The return Layla stepped out of the vault, wind rushing past her face. She laughed. Back home, her loom sang again. People heard things in the wind they hadn't heard in decades. Names of lost lovers, answers to old riddles, lullabies their mothers once sang. She no longer weaved cloth. She wove memory. In markets and mosques, they now whispered of her not as the wind's orphan, but as the weaver of forgotten winds. And in places beyond the maps, when the air grows still and heavy, some still hear the voice that spoke to Layla in her dream. "You are not a weaver. You are a key." Thus ends the tale, not in silence, but in breathless hush. The ink has dried, the candle flickers, and the storyteller leans back, his eyes glinting with the memory of magic. What was written in fire now rests in shadow, and yet somewhere in the folds of the world, the echoes linger. The laugh of a trickster, the riddle of a beast, the last step of a hero on a sand-swept path. Each tale is a mirror, and this one too showed us more than its hero. It showed us the cost of wonder, the shape of courage, the ache of choice. So close the scroll, but not the heart. For the next tale waits in a whisper, in the curl of smoke from an old lamp, in the soft rustle of a turning page at midnight. And if you listen closely enough, you may hear it begin.